Podcasting from Bushwick, Brooklyn, New York. This is the Brooklyn Baritone Podcast. Hey everyone, thank you for joining me. And I always say, whenever you choose to join me, whether it's the morning, afternoon, evening, noon time, even late at night, I very much appreciate all the listens, the looks, the likes, and I'll always appreciate you hitting that subscribe and notification bell. That's only if you want to, though. I'm going to get straight into it today out here in this fresh, beautiful morning in Brooklyn. But Brooklyn is part of New York City, and New York City is known for its rudeness. The one thing that I always notice here is that people have kind of a Me Too mentality. Well, not me too, a me first mentality when it comes to a lot of things and how they move around here. Many miles I spend driving, and a lot of people always look to pop out in front of you, whether you have the right of way or not. A lot of people who are in parking spots, they want to fly out in front of you, they want to get in front of you, speed past you, and then once they're in front of you, they start slowing down. I also see it with people who are waiting in line, people trying to get to somewhere where they need to go, whether it could be a train, a line, inside a store, whatever it is. I'm not saying every single person is like that, but I can only imagine how much different things would be if only not even half of the population, if only like about 20% of the population just started opening doors for other people, just started saying genuinely, good morning, how you doing, their fellow citizen, neighbor. People think that kind of mentality is corny, but this is what we need to get things better. All the problems that people have in life, it's mainly about too much pride and lack of humility. It's what I always say is proper dominion, but we practice domination, a perversion and an abusive form of dominion. Now, we always have to be careful of how we approach people. Earlier this year, 2021, I'm in January, February, and somewhere in Pennsylvania, there was a very terrible incident involving a shooting. Apparently there was a squabble with neighbors on a block or a street, and one of the neighbors ended up killing his other neighbors. It was a man and a woman, might have been husband and wife, in the street, basically in cold blood. And then the guy, he went and killed himself after he did those two acts. In my thoughts, in my opinion, that's not the way you do things at all. I first thought, yeah, that's what a punk move to do. To go clap someone and then go kill yourself. At the same time, though, this could have been easily avoided because from what I understand from witnesses' accounts and also what you see in the video, and I saw the video of what happened, apparently the couple who were killed, it was a squabble of shoveling snow because it was snowing. I think that day or the day before, it's a good amount of snow. It's Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania gets snow. And they were apparently putting snow in the man's property or his side of the street. And the argument ensued because the guy who did the shooting, he was saying, listen, stop putting snow over here. The couple, as opposed to saying, you know what, I don't know, remember his name. Let's say, call him Jeff or Bill. Bill, we're sorry. We didn't mean to do it. We don't want any problems. We understand what we didn't know what we were doing, or yeah, we did do it. But we apologize. We'll take the snow from you. We don't want any problems. As a matter of fact, we could have went a step further and said, hey, do you want us to help clean your side of the street? Something like that. That's what you call dominion. But no, these two took it upon themselves to be wrong and strong. So when the man justifiably started complaining that, yo, your snow is on my side, you're putting snow on my side of the property, you're giving me more work, they decided to curse him out. They decided to irritate him. They decided to just get on him. A lot of cursing, all types of badassery was going on. I'm like, that was totally uncalled for. And the thing is, you don't know where someone is mentally and spiritually in life, as opposed to taking care of the situation. In the first place, they shouldn't have even been throwing snow on his property. 1. 2, especially if someone calls you out on it, own the situation. Take full accountability. That's humility. It's the easiest thing to do, but the hardest thing to do. So now, fast forward, because they were wrong in the first place, and then they kept mouthing off to him. They antagonized the man. That's not even a word. Antagonized the man. Then, what happened? He was there mentally. I'm not condoning that or justifying that whatsoever. He had every right to be angry. What? What did happen? I'm gonna wait for the train to pass by here. But what had happened? He was there mentally in the wrong place. He decided, I had enough of these two, then shot both of them and then went and killed himself. Had we had proper dominion in our attitudes, in our lives, that could have easily been avoided. And that's just one instance of people, if they had just taken the right approach to people. You never know just by you saying good morning. I've said this in countless podcasts in the past, and I continue to say this. Practice dominion. This is the thing that has people so wound up, you know. And again, I started off with me talking about driving in New York City, and so many people just want this me first mentality. I got to get in front of you first. And as soon as I get in front of you, I'm going to drive nice and slow like I'm driving Miss Daisy. And then a lot of people pull out of parking spots. A lot of people don't have the right of way. Just this week, I just noticed it was basically still a collision technically, but it was like a slight rubbing, a slight grazing of the vehicles where someone was merging in from the right lane and they didn't have the right of way. And the person that was on the main road, they weren't trying to hear it. And the person merging, he just kept trying to bully himself in. I'm like, well, listen, I'm pretty sure that you have a driver's license or even a driver's permit. And by law, you're supposed to move a certain way on the road. You know, if you're merging in, you don't have the right of way. Here comes another beautiful train. Let that pass. I think there was a shuttle. It's like about 3 cars. Anyways, you have to give the right of way. It's the law. It's road etiquette. And this is one reason why New York City, especially Brooklyn, has the highest rates of automobile insurance, because people like to do what they want. And that causes a lot of collisions. I'm not going to call it an accident, because not an accident, it's a deliberate act. This causes a lot of collisions, a lot of damages, a lot of harm to other people, damages to vehicle, damage to property, and unfortunately, a lot of hit and run accidents too between vehicles, bicyclists, and pedestrians. Not saying that pedestrians and bicyclists don't share any of the blame at times, but at the same time, if people had this mindset to properly move, to say, let me follow the route because we don't want order. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I see a lot of people, they reject Elohim's will, because ultimately they don't respect order. They don't want order. They want to do what they want to do and expect life to just give them all the good things and cater to them. It don't work like that. When I was in Aruba, most of the island doesn't have traffic lights. It's what you call a rotunda, where it's like by an intersection, it's a roundabout. And whoever's in the roundabout first, they have the right of way until they get out, and it works. Of course, when people follow order, but granted, it's an island with a way less population than New York City. It would be, but at the same time, people had the mindset just to follow order. How much things would be so much better here for all of us. That's proper dominion. It's order and love. That's what Elohim is. Order and love. If we just practice that. Anyways, I talked enough about that. You can continue to catch my podcasts on my website at www.brooklynbaritone.com. You can also catch the rest of my production and videos on my YouTube channel, Brooklyn Baritone. You can catch me in the professional side at LinkedIn under Corey Ashley. I'm also on Facebook, and I'm also on Instagram. You can catch my audio podcasts on Google Play or Google Podcasts now, on Apple iTunes Play Store, and Amazon Podcasts. I have to get these channels down. I am also on Brooklyn Free Speech that comes on all the major cable providers in Brooklyn, New York. That's Optimum, that's Verizon, that's RSN. I know I'm forgetting something. Forgive me. It's not so professional. Anyways, I hope I gave you something to think about. I want you guys to be blessed. I want you guys to walk good. And you will hear from me next week. See you guys later.